Buenos días, gracias por estar con nosotros en este su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde Hermosa, 1470 AM, 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo, me acompaña Michael Dutton.
Hola.
Hola, hola, Michael. Este, what do you see for the future of the United States, of the people? Are we going to when are we going to overcome all these kind of conflicts that we have? Because we have to understand that if we work in the same direction, we are going to be all successful.
Well, I have to say that I am very, very hopeful, and that I think in time things will get worked out. I believe, I have faith in us as a country to straighten this out. We've had other kinds of things in the history of our country that got worked through and got worked out, and I think this will happen as well. The majority of people did not vote for Donald Trump, and so the majority of people see how our system was maneuvered and manipulated by him to get in, and he's now hopefully being held accountable for the efforts that he was trying to make to actually destroy democracy in general and turn us into a fascist type country. So, there are a lot of people who see through this and who are stepping up, and I'm hopeful that this next go round, 2024, uh, that we have the kind of turnouts that we had in 2018, that people vote and that people really understand the impact of what their vote means and the direction in which they want to go with it. So I'm hopeful.
I'm so glad. Bueno, estamos platicando, bueno, qué va a pasar, qué va a pasar con el futuro de los Estados Unidos. La situación se ve muy dramática y le digo, y seguimos divididos. Deberíamos de estar todos trabajando en la misma dirección para evitar tanto desgaste y para evitar, porque podemos avanzar mucho más si trabajamos juntos y en la misma dirección en lugar de estarnos peleando. Pero eso está muy difícil. Pero luego estamos hablando, Michael dice, bueno, tenemos también que acordarnos que en la elección del 2018 la mayoría de la gente no votó por Donald Trump. También en la elección del 16 no votaron por Trump. En el 20 no votaron por Trump. A pesar de que él ponía sus candidatos para las elecciones que no son presidenciales, todos sus candidatos perdían. Entonces, eso es lo que tenemos que tener claro, que la mayoría no apoyamos ese tipo de actitud y ese tipo de programa, y ojalá que salgamos todos a votar para poner nuevamente en orden a este país. I remember when we reached the 21st century, I was so optimistic because I saw so great possibilities. The internet was flourishing. I was thinking, oh my God, I am so lucky that I have the opportunity to live in this century and the new century with so many opportunities for everyone. And all of a sudden, everything went wrong.
Well, there's always how should I say a backlash, so to speak. No matter how good things are, there'll be a step back. No matter how bad things are, there'll be a couple of steps forward. That's just sort of the natural progression of things. And the 19th and 20th century, there was a lot of action going on, and some of it we have to pay for in the 21st century. And then we have some corrections to make, and that's part of what's going on right now. It's just the flow of history, if you will. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
Bueno, estoy hablando, le digo que yo cuando empezó este siglo XXI, que estaba muy impresionada y me sentía muy afortunada por tener la oportunidad de vivir en este siglo donde se veían tantas cosas que prometían tanto, los avances de la tecnología, de la ciencia, etcétera. Y Michael dice, bueno, lo que tenemos que considerar en cualquier etapa, si es buena, siempre va a haber algunas pequeñas cosas malas. Y si es mala, siempre habrá algunas pequeñas cosas buenas. Así es que lo que tenemos que hacer es no perder la fe y continuar con nuestros proyectos de vida. Y how do you teach your families with these kind of things that they can see in TV? For example, how do you teach your children to be respectful and not to behave like President Trump,
Well, you just
former
tell them
President Trump?
don't be like that. That's not good.
Don't be like that.
Yeah, don't be like that. I mean, this is a person who's got some money and who's got some power and it's gone to his head, and he's not being decent with either one. Don't
I,
be like that.
Michael, do you know? I always think that he shouldn't go to jail by himself
Hmm.
because he's over in that situation because of so many people that didn't do their job in Congress. Because if he has been impeached the first time, he was going to be at home,
All right.
no problems at all. Now he's in risk of losing his companies. He has a big debt, and he's using the money that he's collecting for his campaign to use it to pay
Hmm.
his attorneys. And he shouldn't be in that situation if somebody had the Mitch McConnell or somebody else say, no, he's gone. He's not good for this country,
Hmm.
but they didn't do it, and I think that they are responsible and they should go to jail with him. I hope that he used that argument and say, I'm going to take everybody with me, everybody who didn't stop me, because I shouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I just want to wait and see what actually develops, because there are a number of people involved in him, and the indictment there are six
Six.
other people that that are being investigated and looked at, and have gotten their letter that they're people of interest for an indictment. So we'll see. I'm not going to presume to know the direct course of action and the correct course of action that the legal system will take, but there has to be some accountability. There's no doubt about that.
Ese,
And more than just that individual.
estamos hablando de cómo el expresidente Trump está en esta situación y que es culpa de todos los que no hicieron su trabajo cuando debían de haber hecho, de los que no lo hicieron responsable cuando hubiera sido. Porque si le hubieran hecho el impeachment la primera vez, él hubiera salido y no estaría en esta situación de perder sus compañías, de perder su dinero, de incluso ir a la cárcel. Y todos ellos que no tuvieron el valor de decir lo que estaba pasando, son responsables y deberían de ir con él a la cárcel. Y Michael dice, bueno, pues vamos a esperar, porque hasta este momento ya hay 6 personas que han sido identificadas como cómplices en sus acciones, ¿no? Pues yo creo que son muchísimo más, todos aquellos en el Congreso que se quedaron callados solamente para seguir manteniendo su salario, son una vergüenza a este país. Do you know all those congressmen that kept quiet just because they didn't want to lose the election? They didn't want to lose their salary, and they didn't care about their party, the country, nothing except my salary.
Right.
I'm going to stay here, and I say nothing, even though they were seeing so many bad things. All that people should be removed from power and make them responsible too for the situation that we are right now, don't you think?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things that need to be looked at and straightened out, because this whole gerrymandering situation in a lot of states is becoming an issue as well, because there are people who have votes that get their vote gets disenfranchised because of the way the boundaries are made and the gerrymandering, and some politicians, groups of politicians, have restructured things in such a way that it's to their advantage and no one else's, and to the disadvantage of many. The masses need to look at that and be concerned about that, because we talk about going into vote, and that's important, but people are manipulating the process of and the impact of votes. That's something that needs to be looked at as well.
Bueno, estamos hablando de todos los que han sido responsables para que se llegara a esta situación con el presidente Trump, que no tomaron acción, simplemente ni defendieron a su partido, ni defendieron a su país, simplemente querían continuar en el poder y seguir recibiendo su salario. todas aquellas personas han contribuido a que lleguemos a esta situación. Y lo que Michael también dice, y hay que pensar también en cómo en algunos estados se han unido personas para quitarle los derechos a los votantes, haciendo mapas arreglados para que nunca las minorías alcancen representación. Y también tenemos que tomar acción en eso. Ya no podemos permitir este tipo de juegos y tenemos que salir a votar. I think that our recommendation is go out and vote, please. And if you have children who were born in the United States and you still don't have papers, tell them, do you know I came here to give you a better quality of life? Now you help me to have the same quality of life that you have. No, because they can go to work in any place that they want. They have driver's license without restrictions. They have social security, health insurance, and their parents, they have nothing, nada.
Yeah.
Así es que es importante que las personas que tienen hijos que nacieron aquí en los Estados Unidos salgan a votar para que podamos tener representantes que apoyen una reforma migratoria y que les dé estatus legal a todos para que los padres puedan tener los mismos derechos de los hijos, de un trabajo estable, de una licencia sin problemas, de si está trabajando que pueda construir su seguro social, todas esas ventajas que sus hijos tienen y ustedes no. Es tiempo de que paguen el servicio que se les hizo. Well, Michael, the time is gone, but it was an excellent conversation. Thank you very much for coming. And amigos, una disculpa otra vez. Everybody who thought that we were going to have the public safety director in Lancaster, because I announced it yesterday. Well, he had a little problem, but he will be here next week. Okay, thank you so much. Hasta